Hi there folks, welcome back to Rich Reviews. My latest film for you all here now is News of the World, and this might be the second last film I will review you guys for 2020. There might be one more film after this, depending on how I feel about reviewing that film. News of the World happens to be directed by Paul Greengrass, and this is definitely outside Paul Greengrass's wheelhouse because he's best known for the Bourne films. And this stars the second film of the year by Tom Hanks. Now, he previously starred in Greyhound earlier on this year. I did not review that, and my reaction to Greyhound was good, not great. My reaction to News of the World is basically similar, good, not great. And apparently this is based on a novel that I have not read. If the source happened to be open, I probably would have had the curiosity to seek out this novel and possibly get around to reading it. 50 years ago, this film probably would have starred either John Ford, John Wayne, or any other character actor who would feel home in a Western. And given the fact that the Westerns sort of died in the mid-70s, on occasion we do get the good Western, probably the last really good one, the remake of True Grit. I also happen to love the remake of 3:10 to Yuma. And while this doesn't necessarily reinvent that genre, it certainly provides some entertainment because people really happen to love Tom Hanks. He's the ultimate nice guy. This is set in 1870 with Jefferson Kyle Kidd, played by Tom Hanks. And what we know about Jefferson Kyle Kidd is that he was a Confederate soldier. Most thing that we learn about him is that, oh yes, his wife died while he was away at war. And he's been traveling around these isolated outpost towns in Texas. Apparently this was shot in New Mexico because obviously you can get away with stuff in New Mexico compared to Texas. While he's traveling, he stumbles upon a girl named Joanna who was being escorted by a black soldier who properly got lynched. She was kidnapped by a Indian tribe that probably got wiped out and forced off their land. And this girl happens to be German. There's actually a very fascinating history about Germans who settled in Texas, and if you want to read about that, please do. This girl clearly doesn't know anything about her German heritage. She speaks the Indian language, and whether or not this girl actually remembers is really up to her. It's not the most conforming type. She has heat with her hands. She doesn't like wearing dresses, and while she has an interesting rapport with Hanks, it takes Hanks to really warm up to this kid because at first it's like, yeah, the local guy who's dealing with Indian material, he'll be out for 3 months. What are you going to do in this town? Basically, it's a series of adventures with this girl. Some really wonderful photography in this film here, particularly of the landscape. And you really do get the feeling that you've been transported back to 1870 Texas, where it takes several days just to get to town. Basically, the people that do pop up, character actors that I don't really know. One particular fascinating scene involving a shootout that is well staged and well shot. Piece on a set of rocks and eventually how many bullets does Tom Hanks' character have to take out a couple of bandits. How he reads the news is all that more entertaining. These indeed are Southerners who are not exactly happy with the fact that slavery is over. One person reacts badly to hearing that the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment has been passed. Again, how would you like to live in these frontier places? Because literally, you could go for miles and miles without seeing another person. Granted, if I lived in my hometown in 1870, it would take me a couple of days just to get to the theater. And again, Tom Hanks is the consummate professional. That's really all I can say. Does this Western stand out in any way? No, it doesn't. I think this film ends in a very polite, nice way. So in the end, folks, what I'm going to say about News of the World, I amazingly enough am going to give this a matinee rating because I think, quite frankly, if you're looking for something to watch after Christmas Day and if theaters are still open. So, folks, News of the World, have you seen this? What did you think? Please put everything in the comment box here below here, folks. As always, folks, like, comment, subscribe. Immerse yourself with knowledge. I'm Michael Rich, Rich2 on Twitter. I'll see you next time, folks. Yes, hooray.